love, she come up, no move the fight. Let's put our differences to the side. Let's go. You get a nigga like me, don't highlight. The love, she come up till tonight. No move the fight. Let's put our differences to the side. To the side. I raised you up, don't you lie. I'm not a hustler, I'm out the way. I'm out the way. No bitch, you don't even.
Hey, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. Happy hump day. It is Wednesday, and I am happy to be here. It's been a crazy week for me. I just feel like I've been dealing with all sorts of shit. I'm breaking out. There's a lot happening. Anywho, we're here to go over the Family Chantel, the final chapter, season 5, episode 5. I will continue. Just a little PSA, I will continue to go live on Facebook, but some of the lives, I guess, have been deleting themselves for whatever reason. So for those who are interested in the recaps, all of the recaps can be found on my YouTube channel. For those who are watching on Facebook and or Twitch, let me get my information up for you guys so that you can know how to get to my channel. Up on the screen is the description. Type the URL into your little search bar or whatever, and that is how you will get to my channel. You can find playlists and everything. You go to the live section and you can find the Family Chantel recaps, or you can go to miscellaneous recaps playlist and the Family Chantel recaps are in there. So let's get right into it, you guys. This is the final chapter, the final season. It looks like they're going to have the series finale. They're ending the series because they are not together anymore. So the series finale should be next week. If they air anything different, I will let you guys know. But please, to the TLC fans, the people who like TLC shows, comment what I should recap next on TLC or something on another network. I do have cable, so just let me know. I am looking for some more shows to cover, but I'm trying to avoid the Zeus network. So please don't refer me to anything from that network. I don't watch it. I have enough subscriptions. I'm not paying for Zeus. So let's jump into this episode. We're going to go over season 5, episode 5. This episode was titled A Plague on Both Your Houses. And this episode was a lot. It was a lot. The things I had to hashtag for it was just like, what the hell? Hashtag witchcraft? Like, anywho, we see Chantel and her brother River, who has grown up so much on this show. Now he's a man. He's a whole man and a handsome one. So shout out to you, River. Shout out to you. We see that Chantel is concerned that dating an American man is going to take too long because she wants to have a baby. She's 32, 33, around my age. And once you get to like 30, if you haven't had a kid, you're kind of like, oh shit, you know, like that's how I feel sometimes. I'm just like, I haven't had a kid. Like, Lord, I don't really like want one, but it is kind of weird that I haven't had one. I've been with the same person for 14 years. So, you know, there's been some accidents and things, but you know, anywho, Chantel wants to, you know, she's like, in America, it's going to take like 3 years minimum to get married, which is an accurate number. I got married after 3 years. I think a lot of people are starting to get married sooner. And, you know, it is what it is. Different strokes, different folks. So, you know, the timeline to children she's worried about. I think she needs to worry more about like finding a good person, someone who's going to do her right and not, you know, scam her the way that Pedro's family does. And at first I was like, I'm going to give Pedro the benefit of the doubt, but the more we find out, the more that this happens. And as they've separated, he's acting different. And he really thinks he's smarter than the rest of us. And I don't think he is. So she mentions that she wants to freeze her eggs, which I think is a smart and viable option for someone who doesn't want to, you know, just have kids with anybody, but also who wants to make sure they can have them, you know, at a later time. So that's what she's looking into. And then we learn that Obed, and we've seen Obed on 90 Day Fiance, on earlier seasons of the Family Chantel. Obed was friends with Nicole and Pedro's family. And then they fell out, and Obed has always tried to be kind to Chantel. He comes off as someone who has a conscience, but we gonna see. I never trust people that were friends with someone else, and then because they're not friends with that person, now they're like talking about that person. Don't do that. That's not nice. Do you know what I mean? Like, If you was friends with someone, even if y'all fall out, I ain't going to be running your business. There's somebody I used to be very close with. I'm not cool with her no more. I'm not going to be telling her business. Why? I want to, why? Anywho, she does want to see Obed because she says that now that he's not friends with the family anymore, she thinks that she could get valuable information because of the divorce and the fact that they're not friends. So we will see. Why does that information matter? Chantel, you're the one with the fame. You're the one with the degree. You're the one with the relevancy. Move on from him. Stop giving it light. So next thing we see is Scott, who was on 90 Day Fiance with Pedro's mama, Lydia. And he wants to explain things. Now, we last saw Scott and Pedro get into a physical altercation at the gym in the Dominican Republic, which in my opinion was Pedro's fault. I don't care if Scott pushed him or hit him first, because I'm the same way. You're not going to punk me like you going to come at me aggressively. You don't care what I have to say, and you acting like you're going to whoop my ass. Fuck that. We could square up right now. Like, I'm not about to do that. So I understood Scott for being mad. And he tells Lydia how things got physical, and she says that it's normal that her kids want to protect her. This family's dysfunctional. Normal to them is fighting, arguments, scandal, backstabbing, you name it. And that's not okay. That's not healthy. And I know a lot of people from the Dominican Republic. I know 3 people who still live there in Santo Domingo. And the way they behave does not represent that culture as a whole. Every culture has bad eggs. Every culture has bad eggs, okay? So we not going to come for them people. Now, Lydia feels it's normal that all of this happened and, her kids did this. And I don't think it's normal that Pedro has gotten in a street fight with Alejandro, has gotten in a street fight now with Scott. Pedro's an asshole. It is what it is. And he knows his mom's motive. So the fact that he's acting like this is weird. Personally, I feel like because Pedro and Chantel's relationship has been going in a negative direction and he does confide in his mom, I think that they were like, okay, this is to a let Chantel went through this shit because she loved your funky ass. That's why. So apologies if you guys can't see me. It looks like StreamYard's having connection issues again. I'm so sick of it. As soon as I hit 500 subscribers, and I am close, I am at 468, I will be streaming live from YouTube. I use StreamYard because I collaborate with a lot of other creators, such as Watch Your Mouth Reviews, Be Money, Be Manifested, and more. And it is easier when you don't have the 500 or 1,000 subscribers to co-collaborate with others in the same live through the app such as StreamYard. But it's getting out of hand. Anywho, back into the subject of the show. Lydia then expresses to Scott she doesn't know if Pedro is defending her honor. And she says that because she's like, well, what did you do to piss him off? Which is a good question. No matter how we feel, it's like, why is he so mad? So Scott basically says that the family's dysfunctional. Apologies, I am reading my notes. He says that this family is dysfunctional and that he is with the craziness. He said he's here for it. He likes crazy. A lot of men like crazy because the craziest chicks be the ones cuffed up, married, and with somebody. I'm just saying. So he also tells Lydia that he has no issue with Pedro, which we know is bullshit. He said that. He said, since you want to fight me, I'll sleep with your mom just to fuck with you. Revenge. I said, oh, that's how you know he don't care about Lydia. Because you're not going to sleep with her just to get revenge or to piss off her family. That was weird to me. I'm looking at Scott with his huge side eye. Like, what the hell was that about, Scott? That's really weird. Anywho, he says they need to make some little Pedros, and he takes Lydia upstairs, and they go upstairs, and he said Pedro will be calling him Poppy. I said, oh my God. So I don't know. It was just weird that they had the vengeance sex. That's really odd. So next thing we see, you guys, is Lydia waiting to talk to Scott or talk to Pedro about Scott. The kids are always at home, waiting on her to get home and all of those things. So, Pedro is mad that his mom believes Scott. And then he mentions the videos because she's like, yeah, I was with them. So what? So he mentions the videos. and shows her the videos, and she wants the videos to be sent to her and says she's going to talk to Scott. They're really flipping out over a video. He's in a country that's Spanish speaking at a hotel, not with you all the time. He's going to talk to people around. I've done that at hotels on vacation with Mr. Best, chilled at the pool or outside or something, just chatting with people. And yes, some of them were men. That doesn't mean you're fucking flirting. I don't understand. So we then see Chantel go and meet with Obed, who was a friend of Pedro's family. And she says that she believes all of what Obed has said in the past. Obed has said that they are using Chantel's family for a green card, that they've talked about her. They have been cruel to Chantel and said negative things. It is interesting. The ugliest people have the biggest opinions, just saying. So Obed does confirm that Pedro and Crema dated, and they dated and were on and off since high school. And Obed says he tried to warn Chantel in the beginning, and this is what has caused some of the issues with him and Pedro's family. And I mean, she says she's been nothing but real with Pedro, which I think she really did love that boy, because Chantel is not a woman that probably lacks options in men. So it's sad. She feels like nothing was real with him. And it is difficult to find out certain things about your spouse, especially that they weren't protecting you and defending you. Those things are just never fun. So we then see back in the Dominican Republic, Lydia goes to see Scott, and she confronts him with these fake ass videos that tell him nothing. And he says that the whole family, he says, you're all loco. I said, oh Lord. And he is correct. They are loco, loco, whatever the hell. Basically, Scott says that the whole family, Pedro, Lydia, Nicole, he said, you guys are going to be single forever. And it wasn't the nicest thing to say, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. The family seems to lack accountability, at least for what we see on the TV screens. If they are the way that they are on TV in real life in any capacity, they might struggle finding love. You get what you give, you know? So they got that. Hopefully they'll figure that out. So let me just go through this quickly. He says that to Lydia, that Lydia calls him fat and ugly and says that he was bad in bed. She said, boom, boom. No. I said, oh, not the boom, boom. She says that any woman who sleeps with him is expected to catch an STD. So are you saying you have one, Lydia? Because you're an attorney, so you should know better than to say that. But according to the Dominican Republics, where they're at in education in the world, they're like way down there. So maybe she don't know the most as most attorneys would. Anyhow, he says to her, well, since you taking cheap shots, you're not good in bed either. You just lay there. It shows you haven't had sex in 12 years. I said, oh my God. Then she says it's over and she says goodbye, but she takes forever to leave because she wants to get the last word. She's toxic. He's toxic. They're both toxic. So, you know, her parting words to him is, you're a bastard. You know, Lydia, your children are bastards. You had them when you weren't married by someone who was, and you knew it. You can't call anybody a bastard but your own kids. Anywho, he says that Scott says that Lydia is great by herself, but that the family together is dysfunctional. I think that was the one thing he said that is true. Family involved in your relationships is never good. They can support you, but when they're starting to like learn and know about like your arguments, issues, your beefs, all that type of shit, it's not good. You know, love your family, have your relationships with your family, make sure your spouse is good to your family and vice versa. But, you know, they don't need to know your business and that he pissed you off because he forgot to take out the trash at 7:02. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need to know all of that. So the next thing we see is Lydia go home and she lets Pedro know what happened between her and Scott. And he tells his mom that Chantel's family was investigating him, which he now knows about the PI because of Alejandro, because he ran to Nicole like a little bitch boy and told her. And, you know, Pedro says he's paranoid that they're going to come for his immigration status. If you cared about your immigration status, you would leave that girl alone and you would check your family and you would tell them to shut the fuck up. But you're not doing that, in my opinion. But I don't think he can lose his immigration status just because he got a divorce. He has now proven that regardless on how we feel about him, he's a shit person. And I wouldn't recommend anybody to do anything outside of sex with Pedro. However, he's not stealing He's not robbing people. He's following the law. He has a job that contributes greatly to the American society and is helping the many Spanish speakers in our American society to find homes. You know, we can feel how we feel about him and his relationship and who he is as a person, but as in terms of a citizen, he's not done anything wrong. So I hate that he keeps trying to say, oh, you guys will take my immigration status. Boy, if they wanted your immigration status, they would have got your ass when you got divorced. And they didn't, because you have your real estate license. Pedro is doing some things that are right. Listen, American men work in corporate America, have 10 degrees and a great fucking job, and still cheat on a woman 10 different times, get another bitch pregnant, treat somebody like shit. You know, it is what it is. It doesn't mean you got to kick them out of the country. He's not breaking the law. So in my opinion, he should be allowed to be here. That's just how I feel. But I don't know why he stays here, Pedro, because your bitch ass was talking about, oh, Americans are pushy. And he said a bunch of negative shit about Americans in the last episode. If you don't fucking like us, why the fuck you want to be here so much? Because those pushy people that you have something negative to say are what make the economy. And yo, check, you make commission, honey. Remember that. So, you know, we'll see what happens when the housing market gets all fucked up and whatever. You know, we'll see what happens with him. So he says that his family has been peaceful, which is also a lie. They have never been peaceful. Pedro's family has always been a problem and the problem. Chantel's family, their problem is they don't know how to shut the fuck up and let the Pedro's family sink their own ship. They always got to comment and retaliate, and it's not worth it or necessary. And we then see the price of retaliating. Sometimes it's good to just be still and be quiet. So we did see Lydia and Nicole, Pedro's mom and sister, go to the Botanica store. And it's basically a voodoo store, brujeria. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I am not a Spanish speaker at all. So I apologize if anyone's offended at the incorrect pronunciation of your language. And feel free to teach me. Let me know. So they write the family's names down and they put basically voodoo witchcraft into like a box and they have it sent to Chantel and her family. Customs, United States Customs, why and how did this box get through? I'd like to know. Maybe we need to play our government employees more, because there's no reason that witchcraft should be allowed through customs. Now, I know for some people, voodoo, brujeria, things like that, to them, they practice it as some type of religion. But come on now, we ain't sending hexes to people's houses. So the joy they got from hoping to scare Chantel's family also shows how bad their character is. Some people you just can't help. And I am trained in psychology, degree and all. I don't think these people can be helped. So we then see Chantel's family receive the voodoo package. And they burn this whole package down. They get the lighter fluid. And, you know, I love me some Black people. We always going to have barbecue supplies. They had the lighter fluid ready. They, you know, open it. They said it smelled weird. And they said the package came from hell. So we're going to burn it just like in hell and send it back there. I said, oh, Lord. And Chantel was mad as hell. She says she's going to go to the DR because she's pissed and she's fed up. You should have checked your mom. That's why you should have told your mom, do not contact them. Because even though what they did was wrong and mean-spirited, your mom contacted a private investigator. And that is what triggered this. So that's what I mean. I had someone comment on Facebook to, I believe, my recap I did after coming back in town after Thanksgiving. And this young lady said the families on both sides is what has ripped this marriage apart. I think they played a large part in them not being able to be successful, but I also think that marriages fall apart because of the people in it. And if anyone has bad intentions going into the marriage or married someone for reasons that were nefarious, then, you know, it's going to show. So that was the quickest recap I have done since doing recaps. I am done. That is all that happened in this episode. This was episode 5. It's looking like episode 6 might be the final episode. I don't know if they're taking a break. There's no holiday or anything until Christmas. So, you know, happy holidays too, beautiful thugs, beautiful people. I appreciate you guys. The best gift you can give to me is just to subscribe. It's entirely free, darling. So, you know, I definitely can see that this is a show, that a series that is coming to an end. I also think that they might have suffered a little bit from the curse of reality TV. In my opinion, it looks like she got her degree and went into working, and he became a real estate attorney and got a career versus just the job, which he had. And, you know, sometimes as people grow or as they attain or lose money, relationships rip apart. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but we hope that Pedro and Chantel can both, you know, thrive and succeed. And Pedro, stop talking about Americans. Stop. Anywho, so that is my recap. I will be back here again next week, except we will be here on a Tuesday, not a Wednesday. My recaps may be on different days. Sometimes I'll always announce it to you guys. The reason why I did graduate college recently, have been interviewing and found employment. So yay me. But I have to figure out what my schedule will look like. But I am going to continue to give recaps as often as I can. So with that being said, I'm going to end the recap by listening to music as we always do. The next live that will be on this channel will be tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's California time. We will be going over the Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is a show on Bravo TV. In addition to that, I have a music video song review for those who enjoy music. Or if you're an artist and you want your song played on a song review, personal music reaction, or any of that, feel free to DM me on multiple platforms. We're going to end this live listening to Oh So Best, because without the best, this would not be possible. Shout out to the husband. We're going to listen to the opening theme song, Let's Fucking Collab. So you guys have the best Wednesday. Stay dry and warm if you're here in California. I will see everybody tomorrow. If you only watch the Family Chantel recap, I will see you next Tuesday. Adios.
It's oh so best. With the play upon the B Money, man. Welcome to our first EP collab, man. Open Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said, okay, we all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest buzz. Challenges it's me, Hamza. Just like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stress it. Got G-O-D on me side. Oh, he blessed me. All the lies they tell it's so vexing. Them acting is so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut, then you're part of the team. Just like bowling at pike, all strikes don't cut her. Attracted to the mind, but I like mine's hotter. She gotta have a pretty face too, no butter. I wonder how she age. Look at her mother. My favorite color's green, but I'll settle for blue. Check until I can't see, I'm only 5'3". Who the fuck made this shit on that track? Meaning if I'm on it, just the shit slap. I'm from the town, she from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. Said we said we all show look. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. We all should play, bro. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest buzz from the night.
Every day we find the silver lining in our life platinum. Lately, how we blinding with our light, we got them that numb. Me and us so speeding on the beat, they call us phantom. No, I'm not a player, how a layer call me stratum. I'm just trying to break bread like split an atom. God gave me all this weight, why? So I can splat them. Lately, how I'm new with my cleats, I'm an atom. When it come down to my ball, I'm really bad. When it come down to my plays, I'm never lagging. They keep the real ones in the cage like they don't matter. When they get out, they just go back like they don't matter. We trying to bring the system down, Mad Hatter. Don't ask why we never round, we be dancers. Lately, how we holding it all down, call us plaster. With these dimes, we really blowing mine, but we don't splatter. Damn, how y'all make it to the top, we don't like ladders.
I'm from the town, she from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. Said we said we all show look. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay, bro. We all should play, bro. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest buzz from Zanello.
Pull up with the mix quick, got the drip like Ness quick. Acting picky choosy, but we platinum, we the best picks. Lately how we rockin' every wall, we got the best pick. Lately how we got them tuned in, we be the best nick. Money. Yeah, what's up, Oso? From the town to the D, going crazy. What you mean? What you think? Me and Oso, we got it.